I'm Terry Oracle, and this is a reading for KD. KD wants to know, I'm stuck in a job that I loathe. I live in a very small mountain town where there aren't a lot of full-time jobs with benefits, so I feel stuck there. I'm an overanalyzing person, and I would want to find a new job first, but they pay less and have no benefits. My question is, if I did leave, would my family be okay, or would it be a complete disaster? Now, before we start, as always, never make any job decisions or major life decisions based upon a fat man reading your tarot cards on YouTube. Use your better judgment. So, let's see, what would be a disaster or not? Basically, yes, it'd be a disaster. So, Knight of Cups. Knight of Cups upside down. Very smooth running, very smooth emotional feel, very watery, very emotional attachment, a lot of good stuff. So in addition to the Knight, we pulled Fortune, which is not a lot of people read it this way, but I do. And Fortune is basically the day-to-day grind. So we have the Wheel of Fortune. We go from top, we roam around, we go back, we end up on top again, we end up on bottom again, the day-to-day grind. So you do have the day-to-day grind. In addition to that, attached to that is that loss of the emotional smoothness or the emotional appeal that should come with the day-to-day grind. So yeah, you seem disconnected. It's more of an emotional disconnection. So from these cards, I don't really see like somebody, I don't really see someone giving you a rough time, or I don't really see a lot of like thick, terrible drama at work or something just totally devastating to your personality or anything like that. It just seems like, again, an emotional disconnect from the day-to-day grind. And I think a lot of people experience that. And it's one of those things to where you're looking, maybe the grass is greener on the other side. Maybe it is. But in my opinion, based upon what I'm seeing in the cards, the grass is not greener because we have failure at sort of that hop or trying out something different type feel. And failure coming from your question of should I hop to another job without benefits is something that obviously is going to discourage you from doing that. So it's one of those things to where if you do hop or you do move, I think the loss of benefits would affect you and your family. I don't think it's something that would just be a smooth transition. I don't think the grass would be greener on the other side. I think some of the things that you're looking for would not be advantageous to you and not going to be one of the best things to do. I do see that the company that you're working for will be laying off within, I would say, a year and a half. So you can sort of look to that because that points me to the cruelty, which again comes to just that feeling of the layoff. We're going from the 7 to the 9 over to the Star and then to the terrible 5 of Swords mixed in with inactivity of the Knight. It's almost like we have layoffs in your company. So will you be one of the ones laid off would be your next question. And that's going to be a no, sort of like a no. I don't think that you're going to be the one that's laid off. I think that you do a good job. I know that you're not happy with the job, and I know that you're not content and all this other stuff. But I think that you do a pretty good job, and I think people like you being there. And I think when the layoffs hit, and I think they're going to have like a 10 to 15% layoff in the next year and a half. Something's going to happen with the economy, by the way. Just a general reading. The economy is about to take a dump within the next year to year and a half. And something interesting is going to happen within that period. A lot of people or a lot of companies, I think, are going to sort of trim the fat, as they call it, and remove some of the, the bottom of the associate and give the people who are there more work. And I think that's coming for you. And that's where I see the cruelty coming. Cruelty meaning you can't really lay off people and get rid of that work. Someone has to pick up that work. and you're going to be one of the people left, which can be good or bad, but I'm looking at cruelty as you'll get some of that work. And I think that's going to happen maybe at your other job or something like that. Because when you do get laid off, or when people are laid off, someone has to do the work. And the people that are still there have to pick up that work and do extra work, and now it's even more miserable, et cetera, et cetera. But I do see that coming, but it's not for a year and a half. And I think by that time that you'll have sort of a better opportunity or a better... So here's what happens, in my opinion. I've been working a long time. Here's what happens. People will lay off, company will lay off, and then they have more work coming in that they have to reject. In other words, because you don't have the staff, so you have to reject the new work that's coming in and just hang on to the old work. So what happens is after they lay off and the economy, goes back up, they want to hire, and they'll hire people, and when they hire people, you'll have more opportunities, and that's where the start comes in. I think after they lay off, within a few months, the economy sort of picks back up, and you'll have opportunities that you're not seeing now, that don't exist now because they're sort of created. People have that work, that extra work coming in, they have nobody to do it, so they hire. So I think you're going to have a job with benefits after the layoffs occur, and I think you're going to be competing with people, but I think you're going to be able to win that. One of those things, once you see people leaving, I would recommend getting more training or getting more knowledge in your job area, so that when they're hiring again, you can snap into one of those other positions and be able to outrank other people. In other words, you didn't get laid off, you're still there, that's okay. Once the economy picks back up, use that time to do some training, use that time to do continued education or whatever in order to get the job, in order to get into the new job that's going to be there after the economy picks up from that. So again, a year and a half, expect layoffs. Once the economy picks back up, you're going to have more opportunities after that occurs. But for now, I would recommend staying there, and again, doing continuing education or doing something to where you have opportunities to better yourself at the job that you want, so that you have more chances of getting it once it opens up after the layoffs, if that makes sense. Anyway, so that is my reading for KD. If you would like a free reading, I think I'm the only one doing it right now on YouTube, please email me at the email address down there in the description. And as always, please hit like and subscribe. But thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you in the next reading.